All right, everybody. So we're back. A little bit of technical issues. Here's part two of the second session here.
Part two, part two.
Part two. Yeah. So I'm sorry. When that happened, let's go ahead and kind of repeat what you were saying. You asked what happened, and he will stand up at that point. And he says, "Kakita-sama, your father's legacy was insulted by the Lord Otomo. He was challenged to a duel by one of your father's students. So you grew up knowing most of your father's students. The one that got in the duel was not actually a student of your father. He was simply an admirer of your father. But it is common that when you study like philosophy of someone else, that you are considered a student of them, even if you didn't necessarily study directly underneath them.
Okay. I assume the heresy they refer to is the book of anatomy.
Correct, because
Sama's anatomy.
the big deal is that Isamu didn't use assistants like most medical practitioners do. He did the work himself, and he also has stuff about like Oni physiology inside there, and that's what really kind of got him to the point that half the Empire doesn't really respect his work.
Also, how does everybody else react to that revelation? Are they still in stances?
They're still defensive because he hasn't waved them off, and then when you kind of glance the room, he notices, and he'll basically give them an order, which you guys will know as basically yes. So he'll say "us" to them, and then they'll put away their fans, and they'll put them back down.
I will stand up and apologize for taking such an offensive stance, and I will take my chair back and put it back on my back.
So they seem confused now that you've revealed who your father is. You can see that Rokai suddenly gets the light bulb effect, and he realizes who your teacher must be.
Yeah. I say, Rokai-san, it is a pleasure to understand or to meet someone that respects my father's work. And this Lord Otomo should not. If you say that he was as grievously wounded as you believe, then I have no doubt that he had to use some profane abilities to recover. It is rumored that my father was able to strike down any person with a single shot, with a single blow. His travel companions that I've met, while not equaling him, their abilities in their own way were as strong. And I doubt that anybody that studied those people's philosophies would be bested without some sort of evil behind it, or years of immense training, which Otomo does not have.
Yes, Kakita Mifune was believed to be one of the greater swordsmen of his generation. I find it impossible that the Lord Governor would live through such a fatal blow. One of my men saw to the duel and confirmed that the Lord Otomo would be passing within days. He retreated into his keep in the most deepest of recesses, where even my men could not observe him. He observed.
May I speak? No, sorry, continue.
He emerged approximately 2 weeks later, and according to the servant, seemed more rejuvenated and stronger than before.
May I please speak to the man that oversaw the duel? Or, excuse me, the person that oversaw the duel?
I can arrange that.
I assume you know how to get a hold of me.
I'll send him to you.
It's been a pleasure, Rokai-san. Please. My father would have wished the people well as well. He knew, though clan loyalties were important, he understood the need for peace and helping others. as was displayed when the Matsu village was on fire many years ago. Even though the lion have been enemies, he attempted to save them nonetheless. Traveling with the Matsu, he gained a respect for their battle prowess. And I feel much the same for the lion here. Their ability to live through such difficult times only further ensures me of their abilities and stamina. Please relate to them that we are working on rectifying this unfortunate situation without violence.
Should you should you need to speak with any of my men, I will give you something that will assure them to give you honest answers. He will take his katana off him, and you will see him start to disassemble it, and he'll pull the saya off, which the saya is the handguard for anybody who's unaware.
Yeah.
And he'll hand it to you. Your father, while his work is considered heretical by some, he has also gained quite a popularity with another portion of the people. Um, it is it is a young man's game that created this, but your father essentially has his own mon for a medical study. Essentially, it is a crane with oak leaves clutched in its claws. His saya appears to have that motif on it. Um, with the care that he is taking in his sword and how he's disassembling it, because you grew up in a household that worked very closely with the Kikita school, you're going to know that he studied the Kikita duelist school.
Okay. Um, can I assume the way that he's moving and the way that he's doing this that he possibly studied under my father as well?
It would be hard to tell. You would be able to like write home and get confirmation of it, but your father didn't really do anything that was extremely his own style. He was very respectful of his school and was very kind of to the way that his school had always taught. Um, he did learn some tricks as far as like how to use the actual sheath of the katana when lighting wasn't appropriate and things like that. But there's not enough to be able to tell from what he's doing.
Okay. I'll smile and I will give a bow that is the respectful bow, which I won't look at him when I bow. I'll, dip my head and bow to him, and I will say thank you for this precious gift.
Um, when you are finished with your business, I would appreciate it back.
And you shall have it. I hope that if things go the way that we believe them to go, if things have been ill-fated on the castle, that I will have your support when I deal with Otomo-san.
The Iron
With
Fans
Lord
exist
Otomo.
to support the people. If you act on behalf of the best interests of the people, then the Iron Fans will have your side.
Fair enough. And I
During
will.
your conversation, because you've been kind of watching him remove the saya and everything, you won't have noticed, but the other Iron Fans have left.
Okay. I will. I will leave after the conversation,
Okay.
and I will head back to the castle.
When you leave, you're going to spot the merchants that kind of brought you into this quasi-trap situation, and they are going to immediately like leave your vicinity in hopes that you are not going to come after them for setting you up, basically.
Um, do I see them?
Yeah, you're going to see them, they're going to see you, and then they're going to like go into separate buildings because they don't
I'll
want to
call
die.
for them to wait.
Um, the younger one, who is not sure of himself or anything, will be like frozen instantly in the street. The other two are going in houses and trying to
Okay.
leave.
I'll walk up to the younger one.
He immediately kneels and like exposes his neck, fully ready to die and everything.
I will say, what is your name?
Um, he kind of hesitates and he says,
Bob.
Suba, and he kind of leans forward again because he kind of lifted his head up when he first when he finally got to his name, and then he like leans forward again.
Is he a Bushi?
No, he only has a first name. He's Henin. Um, he appears to be in better condition than an Edda, so you assume Henin anyways. But generally, this side of town does look in better condition, so he may actually be an Edda.
I require a servant while I am in town. Since you have arranged such a positive meeting for me, I wish to appropriate your services.
He gets like really nervous, and he says, "My lord, I I I don't know how to thank you for this offer, but you do me too great of an honor. My family is poor. We have nothing to give you in return for allowing me such an honor."
You have already given me all that I need by arranging such a pleasant meeting.
Very well. I shall take you to my father. I I apologize at our home, but he will be the one who will allow me to do this work.
Very well.
Because he
Please
said
lead
that,
on.
you're able to determine what his class is. He is most likely an Edda. Edda typically will not necessarily refuse, but it is considered proper to go through the household, whoever's in charge of the household, to find.
I'm not going to create a complete disaster faux pas for peace talks by taking this guy on as a servant, am I?
No, it wouldn't be
Okay.
uncommon for you to take a servant within town, even if it was just a temporary one.
Okay.
So you'll meet with his father. They are a lion Edda type family. Um, they are simple rice farmers, but due to conditions, they really haven't had much work. And his family genuinely seems kind of proud of the son for acquiring the job, even though the son won't go into much detail as to how he got this job.
I'll inform them. I'll tell them.
Okay.
If it's asked, I will blatantly say that he set up a meeting between me and the leader of the Iron Fans.
The father looks ashamed of him, and he says, "You may keep him for as long as you need." And
Can I
that's pretty much the end of the conversation as far as the father's concerned.
can I ask why he seems ashamed?
If you had to venture a guess, um, depending on whose point of view, the Iron Fans are more or less a gang, and
Okay.
he's basically ashamed that his son is getting involved in a gang.
I will smile, and I will also inquire how the rice harvest has been.
Um, Quite poor. Uh, he he goes, "I do not wish to bore you with the details of it, but the water seems to not be as full of the spirits as it normally is. It's quite lacking. If you
Do
would
you
like,
have
I can
any?
take you to the fields."
This would be a perfect opportunity for me to commune with the kami.
He he didn't realize it before, but now that you say that, he goes, "Oh, you are a Shukenja. Please, please, I would be more than honored to take you to our fields. Perhaps there is something you can do to alleviate the stress of the spirits."
There is. Can we do this in the morning?
Whenever you would like, my lord.
I will return tomorrow. There will be a group of several of us. Some of us will be Shugenja, some will not. But these are people that also need to see and understand what is going on. If I am to have this support and these peace talks are to continue, I need them to understand what I am seeing as well.
Of course. Um, if it is considered acceptable to you, we would like to have our water priestess go with you. I'm sure she can learn much from a man of such stature.
It will be an honor to have your water priestess with us.
So you being a Shugenja know that water priestess are basically bunk. They don't do anything.
Yeah,
So just be aware of that. That you're basically she's a witch doctor. She doesn't really do anything.
I figured. I figured that she's just gonna be there to be like, oh,
She
yes, you are
yeah.
correct.
She
The
knows how to
spirits are
use
dancing.
she knows how to use a divining rod, but that's really the extent of what she does.
Yeah. So now with my servant in tow, I will head back to the castle.
Okay. For the rest of you, you were going to the tea house. Let's kind of flash back over there. So for the tea house, it happens to be kind of towards the evening. The geishas are arriving in throngs. That's kind of the best way to describe how they get there. There also happens to be quite a bit of scorpion here, because they do like to visit the tea house, especially during the evening, because that's when the best information trade can happen. Yogo, you have never quite been super comfortable with your own kind. You kind of get along with them, but scorpions are scorpions, and you know what they're capable of. So
Yeah.
so it is a little unsettling to see quite so many of them flooding around here, considering you haven't seen a whole lot of scorpions since walking around today.
So, like, you guys turn the corner, and Yogo sees the scene. He clears his throat, and he just moves on. He's clearly surprised and uncomfortable.
Mask.
So on the way
He
there,
adjusts his mask, makes it tight.
on the way there, Tsubasa would have struck up a conversation with you,
Okay.
pertaining to the discussion I had with my aunt while you guys were there. Well, to your knowledge and what you study, what would you suppose an emerald magistrate such damage on their clothing for? At first, I thought perhaps Shigenja summoning fire, but he was
They are
clearly
Phoenix.
a Bushi.
Can I roll a spellcraft on that one?
You absolutely can.
I'm gonna do that. Okay. And I took the emphasis of spell research, but I don't believe that has any.
Yes, you will be able to use that.
Okay.
Totally.
Because there are phoenixes there, and you have a sneaking suspicion that the phoenix might have been part of the problem that caused singeing to his outfit. That's why I'm allowing it.
Okay.
I was going to give you a free raise, but I'll let you use the emphasis instead.
Okay. I forget exactly what the emphasis does.
+2 to your roll.
Oh, plus. Okay, cool. So it's going to be roll 7.
I'm sorry, excuse me. It's an extra keep dice.
Okay, keep. Okay, so roll 7, keep 4. Then, all right.
Mhm.
27.
Okay. So if you had to venture a guess, there is a fairly low-level spell that a Shugenja can use to conjure a katana made of flame.
Sorry.
Who's you?
It's okay. Actually, you may be right. Unfortunately, I don't have my cheat sheet open. Let me take a look. Because I think it's on there.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we had the cheat sheet.
Effect blinded, blah, 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 blah. No, not there. It is not on there, but we may have done emphasis wrong. But I'm going to stick with what we've got for now.
Okay.
If we did do it wrong, then I will correct it next time. Just for now, for consistency of story, we'll just continue on.
Okay, cool.
All right, so, sorry, we had a conversation via chat as well inside here. So, you are able to kind of figure out that there is a flame katana spell, essentially, that could be responsible for it. However, when that spell is cast, it's the Shugenja who gets the benefit of the flame katana, not someone else. So that seems a little unlikely. There are some other flame-related spells that would send fire spirits out to do damage that perhaps he got in the line of fire. So that is possible. Or he could have been fighting someone who was using flame magic. Or something as simple as he could have gone into a building full of fire. Without knowing any extreme details about it, it's kind of hard to assess what exactly it would be.
The arts of a Shugenja are a wide and varied field. Could have been any number of things. Could have been a burning building. We don't know enough to say. They could have
Well-
conjured a sword of fire. They could have thrown a fire spear at somebody, quite literally, I might add.
Well, as
again-
far as we know, he's been in the city for at least a month if he hasn't left. That might be worth looking into. From my knowledge,
Okay.
is there, living in the city, has there been any fires that I know of? Any buildings burning down?
No, there hasn't been. You know that he was in the city about a month ago, but you don't know if he stayed within the city or anything like that. It's kind of hard to determine. So we did find the ruling as far as the emphasis goes. It is reroll ones for anybody who's watching this and looking to do their own L5R game. That's how we're going to do it in the future. For now, we're just going to, like I said, stick with what we did originally. As far as any sort of buildings within the city, no, there has not been. There are periods of time where people will do bonfires and things like that within the city, but it's usually holidays. And the last holiday was a little over a month ago, so it seems unlikely because it doesn't time correctly with when your aunt said that she did the work. That festive holiday would have passed. Speaking of which, there is going to be a festival coming up fairly soon, and you guys are actually supposed to be signing the document for the new festival, which will be the season of 20 festivals, basically announcing the new emperor, which has not been officially said yet, but everybody believes that it's going to be Iwiko's eldest son.
All right. So, the D house, then, I guess?
Okay, so like I said, when you guys arrive to the tea house, there is quite a large scorpion presence. There are quite a few geisha. And about half of the geisha are scorpion, so it's like doubling down on your scorpion love.
As soon as Yoko notices that, he becomes very quiet.
Yeah, I was going to say, for Yoga, this is slightly uncomfortable because you recognize some of these women, given that your mom's background and everything.
So, he grew up. His wife is a courtier, and his mother is a courtier. So he grew up surrounded by these women, but at the same time, being surrounded by them protected him from them. He's not comfortable around them at all.
Also, your mother was a noted scorpion seductress as well, so that makes it slightly even more uncomfortable.
Well, she was a phoenix, married into the scorpion.
Yes, I'm sorry, a phoenix married into the scorpion that took to her job fairly easily.
You notice that Kaji has a slightly odd reaction to them. Like, he looks at the direction of the geisha, and he starts to have a wistful smile on his face. Then he notices something, probably the real scorpion, and the smile immediately goes away.
He's glowering again to be like, "Oh, come on, man, have some fun."
But he also unconsciously puts his back to walls whenever possible.
All right.
Okay.
Tsubasa looks unfazed. I imagine he's probably...
Yeah,
used
this
to
is pretty normal. I mean, you're from this town. This is a place that you visit fairly often. I mean, like I said, this is where your family meets a lot of their customers. That's true. Yeah, but they're geisha, so they are a step above regular whores.
They're classy whores.
Yep, they do stuff like play music for you. Speaking of which, Miyamoto, you will catch the eye of one young lady who is of, if you had to guess, probably a Mantis clan member. It's something related to Mantis. She's kind of got this exotic look to her, and she's just fascinating to look at.
Okay, I mean... yeah.
She is a geisha and available for the evening.
Hey man, he just hits all the right spots, right?
Yeah, Kaji would go for it.
Okay.
course he would.
So
He can't help
you guys
himself.
are in the tea house. Most of these geisha are actually here to perform tea ceremonies and play music for you while you drink tea. So that would be the appropriate thing to hire them for, unless you have something else in mind.
He Kaji would not like explicitly ask for that, and in fact, like would make a show of turning it down. But like at the same time, he still kind of angles in that direction because he can't help himself.
Okay. So she kind of finds your charms amusing. When you get close to her, you discover that she is from a minor clan, which, fair warning for all my viewers, this is an entirely made-up minor clan thanks to our last set of adventures. She is from the Woodlouse clan. She is also blind, which should be noted. She will laugh at your attempts to basically tell her, you could pour my tea, but you don't need to pour my tea. And she says, unfortunately, you would not enjoy me attending to your tea. There's a chance it would end up in your lap. Perhaps I can sing for you. And she'll guide you over to a room, which she apparently is very familiar with the layout of this place, because she's able to take you specifically to a room without tripping over anything or getting knocked around. And she'll take another geisha in who will attend to your tea needs while you're inside there. And she will sing. She's actually quite talented. And it's almost a sad song that you hear. But as you are seeing her basically interact with the room, her performance and things like that, you would be inclined to believe that she is a student of enlightenment. Perhaps not the same as yourself, but she is on the path towards enlightenment.
Goddamn monks.
They're breeding.
Wherever, man. You gotta make monk children.
Well, the Woodlouse clan is another clan that goes towards enlightenment, just a different kind.
Children.
I'll respond to this.
Let's go get all deep and shit.
Yeah. Tashi will say, what was that? It's like, the song is beautiful. I find it very kind of the spirits that they let you keep such a fantastic singing voice. While it is a shame about that you lost your sight, it is a shame that you cannot see how beautiful you truly are.
She blushes and she says, "You are too kind, my lord. Please, I will sing for you while you finish your tea. You may conduct your business in privacy. Do not worry for the geishas that are around you." Yogo, you're going to notice that the geishas that she has selected for you to attend to your tea needs and her music backup, none of them are Scorpion.
At one point, oh no, she's blind. I can't do that. Never mind. I was gonna give her like the eye contact high five.
You do, and then you're like, oh, she's blind.
Oh, she's blind.
Eye contact, high five.
Waves of relief.
So you guys
Like,
settle in,
plural.
and you will kind of see the clientele come in and out. Yoga is going to pick up on it more than anybody else, but the Scorpion are definitely trading information here, and it is worth more than currency. The kind of things that they're discussing. If you would like to eavesdrop, you may do so.
Yes,
But
totally.
keep in mind, if you get caught, you will lose honor.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
What is this? Can I use investigation for this, or
There actually is an eavesdropping roll.
is there?
If I remember right, it is part of perception as an emphasis.
Huh. I don't suppose I can use investigation.
Let me find it, because I know that there's like a picture on the page.
Wasn't sure about that.
Um, if you investigate, the problem is you will become too upfront with it, as far as I'm thinking of it. But let me see. It should be in the core book under skills, and I want to say it's a low skill actually. Too many tabs.
Too many tabs on the dance floor.
Let's see. Stances, wounds, attacks.
Who are we killing?
Skills. Not killing. We're looking for the thing that handles eavesdropping, because I forget exactly which skill it falls under. That is not the correct section. Here we go. Skills.
Well, I still can't find it.
I'll find it. I'm almost there, actually. Blah, blah, blah. Merchant.
Well, either way, Chris. I mean, I'm mostly trying to like, because I wouldn't be good in eavesdropping anyways.
Okay.
I'm mostly trying just to use investigate to perceive anyways.
Okay.
I'm because
the reason I say investigate's a little bit more forward is investigating insinuates that you're like talking to people and you're gathering information that way. It would be more
well-
underneath perception.
I think the investigation skill is supposed to kind of work like that. The emphasis is like notice. So it's,
yeah, no. I thought I could
Okay.
use for that too. That was just my fault for getting that wrong in my head.
No, I'm just looking for it right now. Yeah, investigation, interrogation, notice, and search.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I had that totally wrong in my head. That's why.
I was gonna say if you want to use it as a noticed type relation or type of related thing, I could be fine with that. Yeah.
And that's what I would do.
Okay.
I use my eyes better.
Okay. So yeah, you can go ahead and look around. Go ahead and make your roll. And would you like to make any sort of raises towards it?
No, because I'm still trying to keep a good ear out for what the group is going on talking about. So I'm more of just pairing around, seeing what's going on, seeing how everybody's acting and such. Because he is not used to this situation. Unlike probably the rest of the group, sounds like.
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll. Okay. I don't see anything about eavesdropping. If you guys would like in the future to invest into eavesdropping as a focus, we're going to say that is part of an investigation, because that seems to be the closest thing.
Yeah, that's why I thought it
Honorless
was.
dogs would eavesdrop.
It is a courtly skill.
All right.
But yes,
Just make
it
sure
will
I'm
cause
doing
you to
my
lose
skills
honor
right.
if you get caught eavesdropping. All right, what's your total?
Roll 10. 10. 30.
30. Okay. With that, you're going to be able to kind of keep your conversation going and give just the right amount of ahas and the right locations that nobody notices that you're not paying attention so much to the conversation at the current at the table you're at. What you're gathering is the scorpions that are around you are trading secrets about people within the castle, different rumors and things like that. One of the bigger rumors is people trying to confirm that they think that that they refer to him as Otomo. There are quite a few Otomos within the city. That Otomo is tainted.
Okay. I don't
And
suppose
of course,
I
they
hear.
won't use the word tainted directly. They will use colorful words for it and things like that. But that you're able to kind of decipher
It's easy enough
through.
to figure that one out.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I hear anything about are we done?
Sorry.
Dang, son.
Do I hear anything about what is it? Any Bat Clan?
No.
Okay. So, listening for Bat-Clan information.
I'm trying to. As you know, I'm trying to look out for.
The young
Bat
girl.
Clan.
Yes.
So
Bat Clan.
you're listening and kind of filtering through conversations because you kind of have a purpose right now. Eventually, you'll come across two young men that are speaking with each other, and they will say, I have not seen that young girl in here in quite some time. She used to be fairly regular. One would think that she had similar interests, and the other one kind of laughs. And their conversation, they kind of keep going on, and they're talking about her. And after a little bit, you're able to determine that they are talking about the Bat Clan Shugenja that you have been sent to kind of find out what's happening with her. It seems like they know her, kind of a little bit intimately.
What do Okay, they're. What can I tell from them? Their station. Can I tell anything about them?
About them themselves, yeah, they appear to be courtiers. And they, oops, hold on a second. They appear to be courtiers, and they both are young men, probably about similar age to you, maybe a little bit younger, just from kind of their appearance. And it appears that they both have romantic interest in the Shugenja that you've been sent here to find.
All right. Well, that's her personal business, but the courtiers. Do they have any clan affiliations, or they're imperial?
They are both Scorpion.
Scorpion.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
great.
you don't see any sort of family markings on them.
So their mons are all just pure Scorpion.
It's not terribly uncommon for Scorpions, and when they're in social situations, to simply wear the colors of their clan and not any sort of distinguishing mons on them. Typically, the mon arrangement is appropriate for courtly matters, but when they're out in town, not so much.
Freaking swim.
Paranoid bastards. How would I go about this? All right.
Each clan is kind of unique looking, and if you were to ask Yogo for some help, he might be able to help you identify who their family is.
Yeah, that's what I figured as much. Yogo-san.
Yes, Komuri-san. What can I help you with?
you'll see that he's trying to say something, but he's trying to figure out how he's going to word it properly.
Yogo makes eye contact, and then he taps his mask.
It's honestly, it's more of I'm trying not to be rude. He says that straight out. I know you from. I can tell that you are
Do
uncomfortable.
you just put your hand up like this eventually?
Nope.
No, I'm
Not
saying Yogo is eventually
Yogo, yeah,
eventually just gonna be like,
Well,
It's
Yoga
in front of
has.
his mask.
Yeah.
So
Would it-
slowly,
Chris?
everybody else at the table is going to notice that Yogo is like putting a hand in front of his mask, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah. I can tell that you are a bit reserved around other. I look around scorpions.
No,
But-
of course not.
Tell me, I see many of them around without any family markings, mons.
Are you familiar with the tale of how the scorpion got their name?
No, but I would love to hear the story about it.
As the story goes, there's a scorpion and a frog. And the scorpion needs to cross the river. And he goes to the frog, and he says to the frog, "Please, will you let me ride on your back and allow me to cross the river? I need to get to the other side." And the frog says, "Why would I allow you to do that? You could just sting me and kill me. Why would I allow you anywhere near me?" To which the scorpion replies, "Why would I do that? I can't swim. If I stung you while we were on the water, I would drown as well. To cause your demise would in turn cause my own." And after some debate, the frog eventually decides to allow the scorpion onto his back to cross the river. While they are crossing the river, the scorpion stings the frog. And the frog, before he dies, turns to him and asks him why. And the scorpion simply says, "I can swim." I'm not as elegant a storyteller as many, but that's the gist of the tale.
That is not how I remember that particular proverb going.
I was
But-
gonna say, I was typing that out. Isn't it? Because it's my nature.
Yes,
Because
that's
of
what
my
it
nature,
actually.
yeah. Because,
but it-
because of my nature.
In character, Kaji's saying is like, that's not how I remember that particular story going, but I have to admit, it does sound right.
Yes, the story
Because it is
goes
my nature.
because it is my nature, and the common saying that came from that story is "I can swim," which is the unofficial saying of the Scorpion Clan.
Interesting, I guess.
Do you understand now why they do not wear their mons? Why do not display their loyalties?
No, I definitely got the gist of what it was going for.
What my wonderfully artistic storytelling was trying to achieve?
The story speaks for itself.
I do not do it justice. Ask one of these nice young ladies to tell it for you. They would do a much better job.
Yes, but the nice young ladies would not would refrain from answering my next question.
Which is
Would you? And now he'll pull out his fan, which he's never done. Even when in last session he never pulled out his fan because he never really joined in with talking like this. He'll pull out his fan, which is noticeably bat wings.
I
They look like bat wings
dig it.
of a fan, and he'll ask, "I don't suppose you could tell different clans apart, different families apart yourself, even without their mons?"
Possibly. but not their schooling.
For example, oh no. So I don't suppose if I pointed out to anybody in the crowd that you could tell me, show me an example. Like, let's say